Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Pastor Ron, and welcome to Game Day Gospel. But there's two things I know about: Jesus Christ and sports, man. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for checking in. Today was supposed to be a regular, just calm football Saturday, just recapping what's happened going on the past couple of days, touching a couple of topics. And then I took a little nap because I coached basketball this morning. I coached my son's fifth grade, sixth grade basketball team. We actually won 1-0. I mean, we won 28-16. We were down 10-3 in the first half, bro. It looked bleak, but then I just had to kind of just do some coach things and get these guys on par, ladies on par, and we actually won it, man. I'm proud of those guys. Very, very excited. But then I was kind of beat, man. So I came in and I took a nap, and then I woke up to a bunch of notifications on my phone, and one of the notifications I saw was that, Manchester United appoints a new CEO. I'm like, so for this whole time, the rumor has been it was supposed to be that guy from what's my man from that used to cover Juvie, Blanc, right? Blanc was supposed to be the CEO. They had all announcements and all this stuff set up. Thought it was a done deal. It was just a matter of time. But then out of nowhere, we find out David Ornstein is the first to report and confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that Manchester City's ex-CEO Omar Berrada has resigned from his role as chief of football operations at the City Football Group and now is the new CEO of Manchester United. So what does that mean? I mean, it's a big deal. From what I'm seeing from different circles, from what people are saying, let me just follow him on Twitter. Big up my man right there. From what I'm seeing is it's a big deal. He is pretty much like one of the architects of this Manchester City dynasty. He is the brains in terms of in the boardroom, in terms of behind the scenes. He's the guy that put things together. So obviously, if we can pluck somebody from City, that is a big deal. If we could pluck somebody from our biggest rivals, that's definitely a big deal. So to me, it's great. To me, it's progress. I had no issues with Blanc. I just wanted someone that sat here and that just can take over football. My issue is not as much with the Glazers. I understand the Glazers can interfere or just be a problem, but for the most part, my issue is that the Glazers, is that we have no football structure. They have just hired company men or a couple of guys that with no experience to run the football side. But if you have somebody with this type of experience and cachet, who they have to listen to, who can sit here and say, you know what, this is the kind of team I want to run. This is the kind of manager I want. This is the kind of guys that we have. And pretty much who are we to say no? His resume speaks for itself. It's a big deal. While I believe weakening our rival, it's a big deal. So he sat there, and I'm looking online that he wrote an article April 8th, 2014, right? Almost 10 years ago. It titled Manchester United, how did they get into this mess? It's still up on his Twitter from August 8th of 2014. So, I mean, it's important. I think we needed a strong leader. We needed a strong CEO. We needed a strong voice in the room that the Glazers have to bow down to. A person that's confident in himself with the resume. So when he says, no, we're not getting this kind of player. No, we're not signing this kind of player. We have to listen. So I think just having somebody with that type of cachet in the room is to me is a big deal, man. It's a big deal. Weakening City in the same time. Hopefully we can get some of their secrets and has him as a CEO. And people might say why. I think if this guy succeeds at bringing, if anyone succeeds, even Ratcliffe, in a sense, if they succeed at bringing Man U back to Man U, being a top 4 team, being a top 1 or 2 team, up there with Liverpool and Man City and worldwide, like with teams like Real, I think, that will be like the ultimate feather in their cap. Like if you could repair Manchester United and bring them back to what they were, and it's no longer, hey, this team had glory under Sir Alex and XYZ. No, if he could sit there and bring these folks together, man, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. So he moved up. He did a lot. He worked with Barca, and spent a lot of times with Manchester City. The one thing that I would like to see, and the first thing that popped into my head is like, this ball probably figured out that Man City's about to go down for these violations, so he's jumping ship. The very first thing that popped into my head, I'm not gonna lie, outside of like, okay, who is this guy? Because let's be honest, let's keep it a bean. We have no idea who this guy is. We see his resume, don't know what he's done, don't know how intricate he was in the Man City, but we know he's a part of the leadership, and he's an architect to help allow this to go forth. But what has he done? So I don't. No one knows. If you claim you know who he is, you're a liar. No one knows who this guy is. No one knows how well he's going to do. The initial excitement is A, he's a football person. B, he's from Man City, and C, he's somebody that can cause the Glazers to bow down to, in a sense. So he can have total autonomy when it comes to the squad because he's done it before. So that's what we know. Do we know how good he is or how bad he is, or we don't know? We just hope that he can do great. But to me, the very first thing that I thought when I saw this, the city's going down, bro. City's about to burn down to the ground. And he probably got some inside information saying, listen, in the next couple of months, in the next few weeks, something's about to break. It's time for you to jump ship. City right now is the Titanic. And folks are sitting here talking about, new CEO, might get relegated, going to lose X amount of money, all these violations. You see what's happening to Everton. And because of how Everton is has been hit, that the way City's about to get hit will be 10 times harder because they're City, because the number of violations. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. So dude's like, you know what? Frick this, bro. I'm jumping. I'm jumping ship. I'm out. I ain't dealing with this. You guys have fun, but this ain't for me, man. So I think, again, it's a positive thing. I can't wait till the end of the season, a few months, to see where everything stands in terms of structure, in terms of coaching and so on and so forth. I can't wait to see how this stuff will work out. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see how things go. Also to see how the whole thing with City goes. Where that happens. Is everybody going to play for next year because City might be relegated, might not be able to go forward? Will City's players, including coach, will they dip? Imagine if Pep leaves. That these sanctions are so bad and Pep leaves and comes to Man U. Like imagine the guys who just basically get sold off, like a Haaland, I want to say someone like Alvarez. Like you don't know how this may affect. I still think Haaland is going to Real. I still think there's a lot of talks and a lot of rumblings, and I think these violations may pave the way for him to be that number 9 in Real. Because if you look at Haaland, he did everything he had to do last year. Like what else can he do outside of the Ballon d'Or? Like seriously, what else can he do at Man City? Like if you think about like his year this year, and it's no fault of his own. Like his star has fallen. Like he's no longer that guy. He's no longer that person who's sitting here and everyone is talking about, because the energy and the enthusiasm is gone, because he's done everything. He scored a record amount of goals. He won the treble in his first year. So it's crazy for the guy to be like, yo, I've conquered Man City. I've conquered. Like I have nothing else to prove. I have nothing else to show. I have nothing else to do. So if he turns around and says, hey, I'm leaving to go to Real to conquer that and to be a bigger star, like, do it. Because that is his way to stardom. Don't get it messed up. If he goes to Real and, does that, he'll be a bigger star at Real than at Man City. So you think about all these guys that may want to get to a place to go. I think it'll be a perfect opportunity for them to sell Haaland for $100+ million and get to Real and restart there, and then that leaves Mbappe with no place to go. So I don't think he wants to stay at PSG. I believe Liverpool will be the team for him playing on the wing to replace Salah, because they'll get bare money for Salah to go to the Saudis. They get a lot of money for Salah to go to the Saudis. Flip some of that bread for Mbappe. Me being selfish and maybe naive, hopefully with some new structure and some new direction and a new coach, maybe Man U might get there. He can replace Anthony and be that third guy. We don't know, man. It's a great time to be alive, man. To see all this that's going on. It's great. It's crazy that you know what's mad though? The madness is no one knew this was coming, bro. There was no rumors. As much as there's leaks and there's rumblings in Old Trafford, no leaks. No one saw this coming. No one was aware that this was getting ready to happen. So I think, man, like, yo, this is a big deal. This is a new day for us, a new CEO, Omar Berrada. He leaves Man City to join, and just the fact that you know what even causes me to scratch my head, the fact that he will leave Man City for what now seems like a cesspool at Man U. Who would leave Man City unless he's like, yo, listen, similar to Haaland, I've done everything I can here. Let me now try to put another feather in my cap so I can tell you how nice I am. Maybe. Or, fam, it's like, yo, Leonardo DiCaprio, bro. The band is playing. Where's Celine Dion? My heart will go on. Near, far, wherever. Yep, that's what's about to happen right now. Because this ship is about to sink. And man, the man was like, yo, I'm out. I am not dealing with this. I'm not going through this. I'm outie. So that's a big deal. I mean, that's something that we have to keep our eyes on. That's something I would like to see, and I think it's something that's going to be a very interesting development, man. Outside of that, today when it came to the EPL, few games on deck. Arsenal 5-0 against Palace. I can't say I watched much of this game. A couple of highlights here and there. Went through the box score. I think the time off was a good thing for Arsenal. So maybe they have turned a corner to some time away, allow them to kind of recalibrate things. Also, Crystal Palace is in disarray. But, I mean, as much as you want to say that, Fulham and the other teams they struggle against, Luton, were just as bad, and they struggle against them. So maybe just a time away and time off, give them a chance to recalibrate so they can figure out what they're doing in at the Emirates. Also, my man, true road man, Ivan Toney came back for Brentford. He that is the kind of guy that we need at at Man U. You know the reason why he's the kind of guy that we need, yo, because he's a guy that just doesn't care. Like he sits there and he just doesn't care. Like he's just a real number 9, a bit of size, and he has a nose for the ball. And he scored a goal. The first goal of the game was through him off a free kick. And it's interesting and you know to see. I'm gonna put it up on my TikTok page. Ivan Toney moving the ball around on the pitch in order to get exactly the result that he needed. It probably is kind of how you want to call it. It is probably wrong, but hey, you know, listen, it happens. It happens. It's part of the game. You will see, and I'll drop it in a couple of minutes where you'll see him adjust the position of the ball twice in order for him to be able to get the shot that he wanted. And they focused on that on what you call it on NBC during the telecast at halftime. And again, this is something that happens all the time. So people don't want to complain and say you should have got a card and it shouldn't have counted. Shut up, man. God, this type of sportsmanship and stuff happens every game. People dive. It's like, you know, why should someone get a card? They dive when there obviously was no foul, right? If your team gets a penalty because a player dove, you'll take it, right? So cut it out, please. Stop the madness. So yeah, he did what he did, but he scored, man. He sat there, he scored, and did his thing. I truly am happy for him. 100. He's worth 100 M's, bro. He's worth 100 M's. I know it might sound crazy, but the one thing we have to understand is that the market dictates the value, and as with any other commodity, the rarer the commodity, the more valuable it is. So if you could think on the top of your head how many true number 9s there are that's available and that's somewhat proven in this world right now. You have Mbappe, you have Osimhen, 100 mil plus guy. Tony. I mean, if you need someone older, Lewandowski. So a number 9. There aren't that many number 9s, guys. So because there aren't that many number 9s, then that their price could the holder of the commodity could dictate the price. He could say, "Listen, you don't want to pay 100 mil for a Tony? All right, go. You could tell Arsenal, don't pay the 100 M. Have fun with Jesus. Have fun with Jesus. Man, you don't want to pay 100 M. That's fine. Have fun with Hoyland. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's proven. This guy has ice water in his veins. He's a true number 9 in mental and also in physical, bro. Like, he does what he has to do, bro. He's just out like an assassin. So we sit here and we talk about a number 9 and is he worth this much? Yes, he's worth this much. He's worth this much because he sits there and he scores. He does his job. And also, there are not that many number 9s. There's a couple of guys. You see, that's why, yo, I really believe, what's that guy's name? Hoyland, in about 2 years will be a bargain. His $80-something million contract is going to be a bargain because there's no number 9s. So because there's so few guys that we could sit there and play at number 9, then we have like $80 million will be good. What we're playing is it's the reason why they're talking about getting what's my man Benzema back. You know what I'm saying? So we have all these guys. We have Ronaldos. We have these, like, Yeah, we have Harry Kane. Harry Kane as well. Another guy. Watkins, Nunez. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like who else is out there? Ishak. Like these are the guys, or teams just have to overpay for older guys, like overpay for not Lissandro, Lautaro Martinez, a little bit older, up and down, but you'll pay $75 million, $80 million for him. Like this is where we're at. So if you can someone say got a young 20-something proven striker, like in Osimhen, like in Toney, heck yeah, they get $100 million. Yes, they will, because again, I'm gonna name the top number 9s. Haaland, of course, is Kane. No particular order. Osimhen. We got Toney, older guy Lewandowski. Ishak, I don't know yet about him. I don't know. The guy, what's that guy's name? The French guy. Mouani. But young guy. These guys like the Ishaks and Mouanis aren't proven gap goals. They're not proven. They play a number 9, but they haven't done enough. This is why a Nunez is valuable. They pay what they have to pay for Nunez. Even guys like Ali Watkins, who you want to sit there and say he's not, but what what's going on? Back in the day, they were like this guy Ramos, the guy who replaced Ronaldo in Portugal. What has he done? And yet he's a bit undersized. So how many guys that we can say that has done it? There's a couple of obscure guys and random guys, like a Højlund. You know what I'm saying? That have the potential. That have the what you call it? Højlund's 6'3", bro. That have the physique, the Evan Fergusons, the guys like that that have the potential and have shown flashes, but have not done it on a consistent basis, bro. Or guys who have done it in league, but that have done more outside of that, guys, like, or 12 goals. Not these guys like Toney, the guys like Osimhen, these guys could demand $100 million. You got to pay it. Or take your chances with a guy like Højlund and not know how well he's going to be. Like, if you want a striker for 100 M's, if you want a good striker, just be prepared to start at 100 M's. That's it. If you're looking for a number 9, be prepared to start the convo at 100 M. So do you think Haaland is going for less than 125 million? Bro, he has the age, the physique, the name, the resume. Honestly, it might sound crazy, but I think you'll be able to get more money for Haaland than for Mbappe. Just because of position. Just because it's a number 9. Just because of all the goals and the Ballon d'Ors. And not saying he's the better player. To me, the best player in the world right now, and it's not even close, is Mbappe. When you'll probably get like 125 mil in signing in a fee for Mbappe and pay him wages through the roof, like he'll probably command 500 stacks a week. If Casemiro could get 350, Varane could get 325, he can definitely get 500K. So cut it out. So the $26 million a year. $26 million a year for the best player in the world is not a lot of money. When you got American football players getting 40 M's a year. When you got basketball players getting $60 million a year. Mids like Jaylen Brown. So stop it. 500 stacks, 500,000 a week is not a big deal for Mbappe. Me, based on jersey sales and attention and all I'll get with it, and not only the great play on the pitch, sign me up, bro. Sign me up. What? If those of you got, he's too much money. He'll break the locker room. Break my locker room, bro. Listen, everybody could leave. Frick that. If you have an issue with that and you're on my team, you could leave. I sat here and fell and bumped in your damn head, bro. Mbappe. In case y'all forgot who he is, go watch the World Cup final. Him and Argentina and Messi. See how that went. For those who's saying he can't be paid that much. But given the fact that there are so few number nines, again, supply and demand, I think you might get more money for you might get a bigger fee for Haaland, if not close. And again, I don't think anyone's close to Mbappe in my eyes. I think the closest guy to Mbappe in terms of what they do on the pitch is Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane is the second best player in the world. And I've always said that. I'll always rated Harry Kane. I would take Harry Kane over Haaland 10 times out of 10. And it's no knock. It's no knock on Haaland. It's not saying he's trash, but I'm saying the next best player for me. And when he was free last year, I said, yo, man, you should get him. Like, people like, nah, it's a Man U move. He's not that guy. I'd rather have gotten an old Harry Kane than a new Rasmus Højlund. Fam, because he's nice, man. He's levels, bro. So yeah, I think you probably get more. I think you probably get more for that. So yeah, you better pay that $100 million. You better pay that $100 million. But the only other thing I want to talk about, and it was Mbappe is a good segue for that, is that he mentioned that the way things are going now in football, in terms of all these cups and competitions, and he thinks that we may get into a place of load management. And these load management games, these load management suddenly started in NBA basketball, where they I guess they factor in rest for players. They factor in players not playing a full season. They factor in players not just having built-in rest games, like, hey, in the NBA, certain players don't. Even Victor, who's Wemby, he sat down yesterday, this past on Friday night, the 19th. He did not play. It was a scheduled rest day. And then he had a scheduled rest day. After he had a scheduled rest day, because it's a back-to-back, he's going to play tonight on the next game. So because of how many games the NBA players play 82 games a season. The coaches and the franchises, in order to protect their investment, they have created something for built in to help protect the players and and allow them to be able to rest. And Mbappe was saying, he had an interview this week. He said, "Listen, I think there's a pressure where people are like, hey, Mbappe can't play this game, load management, or whatever they want to call it. It causes problems. Like, if you sit here and find out that, yep, I'm coming to the game and Salah is not playing, Saka is not playing for load management, it's going to be, he feels, and I also agree, that this is going to cause a lot of drama. Like, how dare these players play? They're making all this money. They should be able to play, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, there's an internal and external pressure for soccer players to play every single game. But now in seasons, with players playing so many games, I read something that like Mbappe, who's 25, has already played a little bit over 400 professional games. So in fact, if it's like from when he's 18, so 7 years, you're saying he's playing 60 games a year. Bro, that's crazy. Last season, he played 63 games. You know what I'm saying? 63 games. So, like, because he played the World Cup, he played other cups, and he played for his team PSG. And, you know, there's different Euro qualifications and blah, 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 blah. He said, like, you pay... So I'm going to read this to you. As one of the game's premier players, Mbappe will not likely see the demands of him diminish anytime soon. After playing a 34-game league season, UEFA Champions League, French Super Cup, Coupe de France, PSG, he'll then go into the Euros in 2024 and World Cup qualifying. So last year he played in this calendar year of 2023. He had the World Cup, right? He had the Champions League, Super Cup, Coupe de France. What's World Cup last year? Probably the year, but World Cup was with the end of 2022, I think it was. So at some point last year, he played throughout all these matches and the qualifying for Euro, and different preseason matches, etc., etc. He played 63 games. I think Varane was around the same way. Like he played about 64 games last year, and he's 30 something years old. Scott, so he was saying that it might be something where they need a bit of load management, where you know what, you have embedded rest days. I think it speaks volumes that the biggest player, the biggest star in the world, is mentioning that. I think that most teams will do it. The only thing that I do challenge, and I would have to, you know, I don't follow PSG like that, so I'm not going to lie. But I would think that when you say 63 games, how I assume that in these smaller cups like this France Super Cup and even like just qualifying for the Euros, does he have to play? They may have to set it up where they can do load management during these little Carabao Cups and FA Cups and you know, preseason, and you know, he some kind of agreement with his national team where he doesn't go to every single qualifying match. You play freaking Yugoslavia in someone's backyard, a game that you don't need your A team to go. You shouldn't have to travel to that game. Where you play a freaking Macedonia. You feel me? Like, you don't need Mbappe for games like that. So it should be something incorporated where those games he doesn't travel. You know, or, you know, a limit in how many games they play during the week. But again, what's going to happen is that these bloodthirsty fans are going to sit and say, "How dare you sit down? How dare you don't play a game? You make all this money." Like in the NBA, there's backlash where folks say, I travel across the world to see Stephen Curry and he's resting, and it becomes a big negative discussion. And I get it. You know, I think once you take the cat out of the bag, it's like Pandora's box. You can't put it back in. But I think that we have to look at some level of load management, or even what I believe needs to happen is expand the rosters. Just make these rosters deeper. So the one thing that the EPL has done and other leagues have done has increased the number of subs. So you have more subs and more ability. But I think maybe increase these rosters so you don't have to start these players. These players may be able to come in late or come in for 20 minutes. So Mbappe doesn't have to start, but maybe come in for the last 20 minutes. Or and you have teams that are able to sustain a game or a stretch without Mbappe, without a star, without a Kane, without a Haaland. Honestly, I think that's what Pep's doing. I kid you not. I think Pep was like, "Yo, KDB, you look kind of sluggish. We're gonna put you down with an injury, and I need you to get ready for the second half of the season after Christmas." That's what I believe that Pep is doing. Pep is managing the load of his players. Pause. So I think it's crucial that we look into that. And I'm never against load management. I think I don't know. I'm old school where I'm used to players playing every single game. If I was an athlete, I would sit there and play every single game. American football is unique because there's only 16 games in the season. They play once a week. So it's hard to compare that to what NBA players play and soccer players go through. But I also think that we have to be realistic and understand that these players are playing too many games. Almost 70 games in the season is unreal. Unfreaking real. So it has to be something where these players are finding, these teams are finding a way to make sure you protect your investment. To know that Mbappe has played almost over 400 games at the age of 25, and I put him at starting at 18. He probably was playing 15, 16 professional games. So the long-term wear and tear, it's crazy. So this will and also shorten the careers of these players. And Mbappe is going to be playing until he's like 30, 31, and he's done. 6 more years, he'll break all the records. He'll have all the trophies. He's going to be chilling. It's going to be light work, bro. He's not going to play that hard. It'll be a type of John where these players sit here, these players sit here and just play for the national team. Like I ain't playing no more club games, or play for like MLS, bro. Where it's light. This is where MLS and the Saudis and the Saudis are I don't know about the Saudis, because the Saudis, if you notice, someone was saying, I forgot where I read. There was someone that said that everybody, the people that sat there and went to the Saudi Pro League is not happy. Is not happy because it just sucks over there. I told y'all, man, money's not everything. Everybody's like, oh man, I'll sit there and go to the Saudi and play for $15 million a year. All right, bro. You get that money and then your life sucks and you're depressed. You miss your family and you have no freedom, and it's a whole different type of setup over there, and it sucks. You see, Henderson left to go back to Ajax. So and Benzema's talking about coming back. All these guys, bro, out here going at chasing this money. It's not fun. Money is not everything, guys. I'm not saying, listen, the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. So I'm not anti-money. I'm anti-love of money, because that's where the problem occurs. But so it's more to life than money. So I think that's where MLS is more attractive, because it's a lot lighter of a load for them to carry, and in order to protect their investment, what these folks do in the MLS, like, yo, take your time, bro. There's no rush for you to come and play. Let's take whenever you're ready. I'm here. I support you. That's what happens. So I think we're on our way to load management, and I don't know how the fans are gonna react to it. I know over here they don't react to it too well, but I understand. And the problem is, guys, y'all are mad at the wrong people. It's the teams. Load management is something instituted by the teams to protect their investment. They're like, yo, we're gonna go through the calendar, go through the schedule, and we're gonna schedule you days off, because according to policy, you can't play X amount of games. So we're going to sit here and schedule you days off. So the ones who have introduced load management are the owners and the teams, not the players. The players are like, yo, I don't want to, but if you say so, if it's what's best for me to do, I'm going to do it. So don't get mad at the player. The players just, Mbappe is just bringing things forward, but the teams are the ones that's sitting here and be like, yo, just chill. Don't play this game. Sit back, man. So it's interesting to see where this would go for players. Will European soccer, because again, we have Champions League, we have this Carabao Cup, FA Cup, we have the regular season, and we have international duties. A lot of games. It adds up, man. It adds up. It adds up. So this is why I want all these guys saying, "Oh, Pele's the best and this guy's the best, bro." You can't compare. Pele's had to play probably like 15 games a year. He played in Timberlands, bro. He played in flip flops. You feel me? He played soccer in flip flops. You can't while other guys freaking played in Crocs. You can't say guys like that are the best players. They play 15, 20 games a year. My man's played 64 games in 1 year. Pele couldn't do that, my guy. Your GOAT could not do that. I'm sorry to break it to you. So it's interesting to see how this is going to break down in terms of load management, in terms of resting players, and how the fans are going to react, how these networks are going to react. Because I know in the NBA there's rumblings that these networks are going to sit here and try to reduce the money paid for TV rights. This is why the NBA had to step in and said, listen, you can't rest on national televised games. It's crazy. It's crazy how this is moving. But, I mean, it is what it is, man. So tell me what you think, man. Talking about a lot today, football related. Man, you was chilling. Ain't no games played. But I wanted to come on here. Let's talk some football and talk some footy and see how that goes. Wait. I see it. There's light. That's light at the end of this tunnel. All you got to do now is fire this manager. You know what I'm saying? Let him go. And then take it from there, bro. Thank you. So tell me what you think, guys. Man U, Arsenal, Ivan Toney, load management. Tell me what you think, guys. Thank you for listening, man. I pray this blesses you. I pray you learn from some stuff. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff. I love you guys, man. Thank you for listening. God bless you guys. Peace.